I found out my babysitter has been charging my kids money to use their own toys. I've been a single dad since my wife passed away 3 years ago. Emma is 7 and David is 9. Between my job at the warehouse and trying to keep up with everything else, I really needed help. That's when I hired Rachel, a college student who lived 2 blocks away. 22 years old, came with good references from her neighbor's family. She charged $15 an hour, which honestly stretched my budget. But having someone reliable who could pick the kids up from school and watch them until I got home at 6 was worth every penny. For 6 months, everything seemed perfect. The kids actually looked forward to Rachel coming over. They'd run to the door when she knocked and would beg her to stay longer when I got home. I thought I'd hit the jackpot with babysitters. Rachel was always on time, the house stayed clean, and my kids were happy and fed when I walked through the door after work. But then, weird things started happening. Emma came up to me one Tuesday night while I was making dinner and asked if she could have $5. When I asked why, she said she needed it for tomorrow when Rachel came over. I figured maybe Rachel was taking them for ice cream or something, so I gave her the money without thinking much about it. A few days later, David asked for $3. Then Emma wanted 2 more. By the end of the week, both kids had asked me for money multiple times. When I asked what they needed it for, they'd get all shifty and just say it was for Rachel. I started getting suspicious. Last Friday, I decided to leave work early and surprise the kids. I pulled into my driveway around 4 in the afternoon and could hear laughter coming from the backyard. I walked around the side of the house and saw something that made my blood boil. Rachel was sitting at our patio table with a small metal box in front of her. Emma was standing there holding her favorite doll, the one her mom gave her before she died. David had his gaming controller in his hands. Rachel looked at Emma and said, "That'll be $2 if you want to play with Rosie today." Emma reached into her little unicorn purse and handed over 2 crumpled dollar bills. Then Rachel turned to David. "Controller rental is $3 for an hour." My 9-year-old son dug into his pocket and gave her $3. Only then did Rachel hand them their own toys. I stood there frozen for a minute, watching this college student take money from my children to use their own belongings in their own house. The metal box was full of small bills. I realized she'd been running this sick little business for who knows how long. I walked straight over to the table. "What exactly is going on here?" Rachel's face went white. She started stammering about teaching the kids about money management and responsibility. I told her to give me that box immediately. Inside was almost $40 in 1s and 5s. "You've been charging my kids to use their own toys?" I asked. She tried to explain that she was helping them learn the value of money and that they seemed to like the system. The kids were standing there looking confused and scared. I told Rachel to pack up her stuff and leave. As she was gathering her things, she had the nerve to ask if I was still going to pay her for the day. I laughed and told her she'd already collected enough payment from her little customers. After she left, I sat down with Emma and David. Turns out this had been going on for almost 2 months. If they wanted to play video games, watch TV, use their bikes, or even play with their own toys, they had to pay Rachel. She told them it was a special game and that their dad knew about it. If they didn't have money, they had to sit quietly and do homework or chores. My kids had been spending their allowance, birthday money, and Tooth Fairy cash just to enjoy their own belongings. Emma had been saving up for a new art set, but spent all her money on doll rental fees. David used his birthday money from Grandpa for controller time instead of the skateboard he wanted. The worst part was when Emma asked if she needed to pay me too now. My heart broke into a million pieces. I got every penny back from that box and gave it to my kids. Then I took them to Target and bought Emma her art set and David his skateboard. I also called Rachel's previous family to let them know what happened. Turns out their kids had mentioned something about paying the babysitter, but the parents thought they were just playing pretend.